What's up, y'all? Coach Matt here. Just want to take a minute and shoot a video for you guys getting into this how do we change the way that we think, how do we change the way that we operate, how do we change the way that we respond to different stressors in our lives. Because I don't know about you, but stress is the main thing that ever caused me to make bad decisions. And you know, stress for me means anything that takes me outside of my confidence in who I am and who God created me to be. That makes me feel fear, that makes me feel shame, that makes me feel guilt, that makes me feel like I'm not enough. And so one of the things that I've noticed, I don't know about y'all, but in my day, one particular time of the day, and I imagine all of you will be able to relate to this, that I tend to struggle is when I get off work. You know, I've had a long day at work. I work in construction. I do this as well, but I also work in construction. And man, a lot of days, you know, whether I get off between 3 and 5:30, it depends on the day. You know, I noticed that I have, you know, borne the brunt of doing manual labor, or you know, it's been a stressful environment, you know, on the job with, you know, attitudes flaring up, whether it was mine or a coworker or whatever. And so one of the things I really like to pay attention to and do when I get off work is, before I do anything else, I take my shoes off, I get outside and I get in the sun and I get my feet. This is a technique we call grounding. I put my feet on the earth. Now, it may seem like some of this stuff may seem silly to you. It's like, well, what is that going to do for me? Well, it's scientifically proven that we are electrical beings, that we have positive and negative charges going on in our body. And that's, you know, without that charge, that interaction happening between protons and electrons in our body, we would die. So what happens to us in our modern society especially is we never get to offload that positive charge that happens, that we actually take in from other things like cell phones, Wi-Fi, just being inside all day, not getting fresh air, getting air that's filtered through an air conditioned system. You know, especially during the winter time, we struggle with those things. So what I'm doing here, what is actually happening here is as I'm walking and getting the sun in my eyes, and this is a big thing for you guys that wear glasses or contacts. If you wear glasses or contacts, you are not getting the UV light that comes from the sun, which is not your enemy, by the way. That might be a whole nother video I do. You're going to learn a lot of things, a lot of misinformation that you received over the years, like the sun is bad for you, is completely false. It's absolutely false. The sun is your friend. And one of the main things that I'm doing here is I'm even, you know, somewhat looking at the sun. I'm not looking directly at it for long periods of time, but I will look at it directly, little increments. I'll kind of look over, and I've trained my body, and I also, I've trained my body over the years to be able to do that. And a lot of that has to do with what I eat. And again, that I'll get more into that. I'm trying to keep these videos short. But what I'm doing right now is seriously affecting my endocrine system. Your endocrine system plays a major role in your digestion and in your hormone regulation. So stress hormones, happiness hormones, all the different things in our bodies that work together to help put us in a better mood. This is one of the number one ways, without having to take medication or even eat anything different, that you can change your mood. And so I like to come outside for at least 15 to 20 minutes, 10 minutes. And again, don't get hung up on the time. If you've only got 5 minutes, it'll be worth it. And put my bare feet on the ground, which actually is literally off charging positive protons, taking in electrons, because the sun puts negative electrons in the earth, on the grass or on the dirt or wherever you're at. You may not have grass depending on where you're at. But get outside and do that. Another thing you can do is take some deep breaths while you're walking. So I'm just gonna walk here. I try to do about 4 or 5 seconds breathing in, and then about 6 to 8 seconds breathing out. So I just, I turn around, I walk, I, kind of walk all over the yard. I notice nature, I notice the wind blowing, I notice the leaves. I try to get myself out of this. We kind of live in this hamster box a lot of the times, whether we're at our desk or in our car, or we're constantly, looking at our cell phone all day. And I try to look out, try to find, one of the things that's good to do is look out and find the farthest point that you can see, and then just stare at it for a minute, and just get out of this rut that we get in a lot of times of just being within ourselves, and look out. And, I'll do, I'll mention this in other videos. I'll do some gratitude as I'm out here. Just, God, thank you for this day. Thank you that I get to come outside, that my body functions well enough to come outside, and I can come out here and do things like this. Thank you for your creation, for the beauty that's in it. Thank you for the sun that energizes me, and does help, change my mood. And you can even tell, since I can tell, because I've trained myself to be aware, from the time I started this video until now, I'm less stressed. I'm more at peace than I was when I started. I noticed that after, we've just spent Thanksgiving holidays here at my folks and eating a lot of food that maybe isn't so primal, which is okay. It's okay to do that sometimes. That isn't so optimal. And, I've noticed that my inflammation was a little bit up, that my stress was a little bit up from that. I haven't been as active, so I'm just getting out here, at the end of the day, doing some just walking in the grass. It's one of those things we've done for thousands of years, and all of a sudden we just think, oh, well, I can put rubber soles on my shoes, and I can, not ever be in contact with the earth, and my body's just going to function like it always has. Well, that's not true. So again, I want to make sure I'm hitting on these last points. You'll notice I have a tendency sometimes to jump around, but I always try to bring it home. If you wear glasses or contacts and you come outside and do this, take them out or take them off. You're not going to get the UV light from the sun that you need in order to impact your endocrine system. You can do this in the morning as well. It's actually just as good to do it actually maybe better to do it in the morning and in the evening. This is going to help regulate your sleep. It's going to help with your immune system. It's going to help with your digestive system, because these it literally triggers sensors in your body. Being outside in the sun without sunglasses, without contacts, without glasses, and just walking around. Again, you don't have to immediately look directly at the sun, but just being outside and getting these UV rays is going to be huge for you to be able to be in control of changing your mood and changing the way that you feel. There's a lot of things we can't control. We can't control, like I said, a lot of things that happen at work during the day, or with our family, or whatever else other stresses are going on, but we can control our choices. We can stop making excuses and say, you know what, I can go outside for 5, 10, 15 minutes, or even a minute, whatever. Don't necessarily put a time frame on it, and just say, I can do something that can get me to shift away from negative feelings that probably have led to me eating things that I don't need to eat. And I can do something that's positive for myself, or in this case, negative, if you're talking about that electric charge. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll be putting more up. But this is one thing I do every single day that I can, even in the wintertime. I know a lot of you say, well, what if it's cold outside? I don't want to take my shoes off. Just do it. You might not be able to do it as long, but just do it. Just go walk on the grass. If you're down, around South Georgia or wherever you are, it's not that cold. If it's freezing, I get it. But there's even benefits to that if you can stand it. But right now, it's not that cold outside. It's a mid-60s afternoon here at my folks. And so, yeah, just give it a try. See what happens. I like to, and comment back. Let us know in the app how you guys feel after doing this. If you really notice that the literal charge in your body changes. But yeah, we love you guys, and yeah, hope this works out for you.